This is the updated moderate overlap crash test. It's one of the most demanding evaluations conducted by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, with a special focus on backseat protection. When this tougher protocol was introduced in 2022, it added a rear seat dummy for the first time and exposed the serious weaknesses in second-row safety. Most automakers took the challenge seriously and began rolling out improvements, sometimes requiring multiple rounds of changes. In this video, we'll break down exactly what went wrong in many popular models, what the engineers fixed, and the remarkable progress that's now delivering stronger rear seat safety among new vehicles. Here's how the updated test works. 40% of the vehicle's front left corner slams into a deformable barrier at 40 miles per hour. It's designed to replicate one of the most common real-world frontal crashes, an offset impact where only part of the structure has to absorb the full force of the collision. The Hyundai Palisade went from a poor rating to a good, but it didn't happen overnight. It took multiple rounds of real engineering work to get there. In the original pre-redesigned Palisade, the rear occupant was in real trouble. Crash data showed elevated injury readings, a likely risk of serious head or neck injury, plus a moderate risk of chest injury. That was enough for it to earn a straight poor. Hyundai made the first fix for 2025 models with revised seatbelts. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. The shoulder belt rode up too high toward the dummy's neck, and the lap belt slid onto the soft abdomen. The rating stayed poor. Then came the all-new 2026 Palisade. It stepped up to acceptable, real progress, but the lap belt was still slipping onto the abdomen, which on its own kept the rating from reaching good. It took one final change, an updated belt buckle that started appearing on 2026 models built after November 2025. Only then did the lap belt stay properly positioned on the pelvis, locking in that good rating. The refreshed Hyundai Sonata made the same dramatic leap, from poor straight to good, thanks to targeted changes in both the rear seats and the seatbelts. The 2023 Sonata earned its poor rating mainly because of the rear lap belt. In the test, it slid off the pelvis and rode up onto the abdomen, creating a heightened risk of injury for the rear occupant. This dummy also recorded elevated injuries to the head or neck and chest. Starting with 2025 models, Hyundai fixed the biggest problem. The lap belt now stays properly positioned on the pelvis. That was the key upgrade. However, the shoulder belt now rides up a bit too high toward the dummy's neck. It's not flawless yet, but it's a clear step forward in protecting rear passengers. The all-new Kia K4 replaces the Forte and delivers a complete turnaround, jumping from poor to good. The previous generation Forte struggled badly in the rear seat. The lap belt slid off the pelvis and rode up onto the dummy's abdomen during the crash. That's dangerous because the belt was no longer loading the body's strongest structure, the pelvis, and instead concentrated force on the softer abdomen, raising the risk of serious injury. On top of that, rear passenger dummy injury values showed a likely risk of head or neck injury and a moderate risk of chest injury. For the new K4, Kia made meaningful changes to the rear seatbelts. The result? The lap belt now stays properly positioned on the pelvis, helping the sedan earn a full good rating. Kia didn't stop with the K4. The Sorento also made strong gains in the updated test, now earning a good rating after 2 rounds of rear seatbelt improvements. Even after the first round of changes on the 2025 Sorento, it only reached a marginal rating. The rear dummy still faced an elevated risk of head or neck injury, while the lap belt migrated off the pelvis and onto the abdomen. A second round of targeted belt changes, beginning with 2026 models, finally solved the issues and pushed the Sorento to a full good. The 2026 Nissan Sentra is a clean sheet redesign, and it shows in this test, jumping from marginal to a solid good. The previous generation struggled with its rear seat belts. The shoulder belt rode up too high toward the dummy's neck, reducing its ability to properly restrain the torso. At the same time, the lap belt slid off the pelvis and onto the abdomen, increasing the risk of injury. With the full redesign, Nissan had the chance to rebuild the rear seatbelt geometry from the ground up. The result is much better belt positioning and a well-earned good rating. The redesigned Rivian R1S made a solid jump from marginal to good, thanks to changes in both the front body structure and the rear seats. The 2023 R1S had a compound problem. The rear dummy's head approached the front seat, raising the risk of head injury. At the same time, the lap belt slid off the pelvis and onto the abdomen. 2 separate failure points that needed 2 separate solutions. Rivian addressed both fronts. They improved how the vehicle's body manages crash energy and refined the rear seat and belt geometry. In the updated version, the rear occupant's head stays a safe distance from the front seat, and the lap belt now remains properly positioned on the pelvis. The Subaru Forester's path to a good rating in this test actually took 2 generations and 3 model years of work. The outgoing Forester earned only a marginal. The rear dummy's head came too close to the front seat, raising head injury risk, while chest injury values also came back elevated. The all-new 5th-generation Forester arrived for 2025 and moved the needle, but only part way. It improved to acceptable, yet the elevated chest injury risk remained, leaving it one step short of good. Beginning with 2026 models, Subaru made targeted improvements to the rear seatbelts. That final tweak was enough to push the Forester to a full good rating. The full-size pickup segment has often struggled with this test. The Toyota Tundra is one of the few exceptions after it received significant improvement. In its previous version, the Tundra earned a poor rating, driven by rear seatbelt issues. The shoulder belt rode up too far toward the dummy's neck, failing to properly hold the torso in place. Meanwhile, the lap belt slid off the pelvis and onto the abdomen. Beginning with 2025 models, Toyota made meaningful changes to both the rear seats and the seatbelts. The result? The belts now stay properly positioned, delivering a much stronger performance. The Volkswagen Atlas made the jump from marginal to good for 2026. The pre-update Atlas, based on a 2022 model, originally earned a marginal rating in this test. Even though the shoulder and lap belts stayed in their ideal positions, the rear dummy's head came dangerously close to the front seat. This was coupled with a moderate risk of head or neck and chest injuries. Volkswagen solved it with a smart upgrade. They added pre-tensioners and load limiters to the rear seatbelts. These actively tighten the belt at the start of a crash and then manage the force applied to the occupant throughout the impact. The changes brought injury risk values down enough to earn a full good rating. The rear dummy's head still moves toward the front seat, but not severely enough to prevent the top rating this time around. It's a solid step forward, showing how advanced belt hardware can make a meaningful difference even when geometry was already decent. This next video here looks at SUVs and trucks that failed their crash test.